Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashita Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashita Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashita Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashita Shishimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashuttarashita Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaurkishodas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Nityalala Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Śrī Rūpānuga Gauriya Guru-varga Ki Jai Śrī Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Gunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Śrī Swarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur. Actually, I'll do full Jai Dhvani. Jai Śrīla Baladevi Vibhushan Jai Nityalala Pravishta Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishta Vishpar Śrīla Bhakti Balavitirtha Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Dait Madhav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimad Śrīla Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupad Śrīla Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. All the associates of Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai and all the disciples and followers of those associates Ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Baladevi Vibhushan Prabhu Ki Jai Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura Ki Jai Śrī Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Jai Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Gosai Pād Ki Jai Śrī Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Śrī Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Gunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai Śrī Swarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Śrī Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Śrī Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha Ki Jai Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Let's do a little Mangalacharan before we begin. Just I'll share my screen. I'll do a shortened version. 1 second. Let's just open it up first. There it is. Okay. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Shri Radhika Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanitti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Keshava Bhinna Rupine Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Vamaniti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singharupine Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Iti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Namo Gorkishoraya Shakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambar Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Surupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistang Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindayai Tulsi Devai Priyayai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namah Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Rukmini Didi, Champak Mataji, Nitai Mukeshji, Balaram Prabhu, and Vidyalala Sadidi. I'm guessing Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji are there, and all the other devotees watching right now on YouTube and Facebook. I only see the names of people who write comments, and so if you write a comment, I'll see who you are. But I see there are 5 devotees right now on YouTube and Facebook, so pranams to all of you. And also pranams to all the devotees who will be watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Krishna Vallabha Devi, who else? Ananda Pradayini, Anuradha Mataji, who is the designer of this book, and then Vrinda Didi, and everybody else. Dandavat Pranams. So today's a bit of a different program from our regular daily programs. Today I'm not going to just be reading. We'll do some reading today, but today's program I'm going to be giving everybody a little tour of the new Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha that is just about to go to the printers. So I think everybody is familiar with the Śrī Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha. If you're not familiar with Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, this is a book that was originally compiled by our Param Gurudev Nityalila Pravishta Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Pragyana Keshav Goswami Maharaj in, I think it was 1956 or 1958. That was when he published the first edition, and he organized all the songs of our acharyas in a very unique way. He organized it, very special organization, and also he gave lots of sections and subsections, and so everything, he brought all these kirtans, all these different books, all the different songbooks of Bhaktivinoda, all the songs in the songbooks of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, all the songs in Śrīla Narottam-das Thakur's 2 songbooks, and all different acharyas. And instead of just dividing it songbook by songbook, which many other people have done, he took all the songs out and put everything so that everything was grouped together in a very particular, very clear, logical, and beautiful way. And that's why it's called a guccha. Giti means song, and guccha means a cluster. If you look up the word guccha in the dictionary, it also means like a nosegay, which is like a small bouquet. So it's like a bouquet of flowers, beautifully arranged. All different groups of songs and beautifully arranged like that. This Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha has been published for, I don't know when the first edition came out, sometime in the 90s, maybe the early 90s or maybe 95 or something like that. That was the first edition of Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, and there have been many, 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 many editions of Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha since that time. It's GBP's most popular book by far, and then in 2013 we retranslated all the songs. Kundalata, she translated most of the Bengali songs. Bhagavatmara translated most of the Ashtakams. And also there are other, like Chandrasekhar and Srivas and myself and different devotees, Radhika, and there's a long list of devotees who contributed towards translating all the songs. But yeah, then for that songbook, we republished it, this new revamped songbook, in 2012, or is it 2013? I think it's 2013, and it was in this format. It was soft bound, and it had this beautiful cover illustrated by Nilamburi in Australia, and but for that edition we didn't include all the songs that we had prepared, because we decided to make it not a big book. We decided to make it portable, and so then we called it the abridged edition, as you see here. And it's just the most essential songs the most commonly sung songs, I mean. And so we had all these other songs that we had translated for the songbook, but we ended up not including. And since that time, since 2013, I've been really wanting these songs to be published, like all these other songs, the complete sets of songs, like all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Radhikashtaka songs, and all right now. And this abridged edition, it's just selections from songs, but not complete sets. And yeah, there's something really special about having a complete set, and you get to see the full. Anyways, but now finally, we are printing the expanded edition of Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha. And this new edition, which is just about to go to the printers, this book is, let's see how many pages this book is. Okay, this book is 447 pages. That's the last page. And plus there's the introduction part, so I don't know, probably it's less than 500 pages, this book. And this new Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha that we're just about to publish is 1,300 pages, so more than double this current songbook. And it's been by far one of the most exciting projects that I ever had the opportunity to serve on. And it's serving with a wonderful group of devotees. Gīta-mālā Mataji is the main editor, and my father also edited, and other devotees. Yeah, Srivas translated so many songs for this new edition, Chandrasekhar, and so many devotees. I don't want to miss out anybody's name. I'll show you the page with all the people who've worked on this book, but it's quite a team. And so we're about to give it to the printers now. And now we need to raise money for the book, and so that's why I'm doing this program. It's a fundraiser, really. And I mean, there's no pressure, so even if you're not able to contribute anything, you're fully welcome to be here. I'm just excited to share this book with you. But yeah, one really amazing thing with GVP and like I don't. So my thoughts are like I didn't actually organize anything, and so I'm just speaking whatever comes to my mind. But with GVP, the way the books are set up is each book has an endowment fund, and so that means when a book is when it's been funded, when it's been endowed, it means it will never go out of print, because each book has its own account, like its own bank account pretty much. And when we sell a book, then the money from that particular book goes into that book's own account, so that it will never go out of print. We'll never have to raise money for a book again. So once a book has been endowed, it's endowed forever. So like when we sell this Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, the money from this Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha will go back into the Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha's bank account for the next printing. And so that's how all the books are set up. And so anybody who contributes for this, they're contributing for every future edition of this book as well. They're contributing for the eternal printing of this book. This session, I don't have a very... Right before we started, I spoke some thoughts and I had it transcribed. And but I haven't actually I don't have such a clear idea of everything that I want to speak about. This is a very informal program, and feel free to... Oh wow, my brother's there. Krishna Murari, Haribol, and my mom's there, Nishchintya Mata. Haribol, and Ganga Mataji, Haribol, Dandavat Pranams. Yeah, so this is a very informal program, so feel free to jump in at any time with questions or thoughts or whatever. Everybody's free to interrupt me. You don't even need to raise your hands or whatever, just open up your mic and jump in at any time. And I'm also checking the comments on YouTube and Facebook. If anybody has any questions or anything they want me to talk about, I can go through that. So, where shall we begin? Well, maybe one thing, this might be a good way to start. I'll read the introduction to the songbook, because that explains a lot of the features of the book. And then maybe we can look through different parts of the book, and you can see the pictures. There's 64 illustrations for this book, and yeah, we can just jump around like that. I meant to prepare for this yesterday, but then I ended up getting distracted preparing for the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura thing program for the retreat. I'll tell you about that afterwards. But what am I looking for? Okay, let's go to the beginning of the book. Where is it? Here. Okay. Let's do this 2 pages. Yeah. Okay, let's just start from the beginning of the book. I'll give you a little tour. So here's the contents page. This is the main contents. As you can see, there are 18 chapters in this book. And each one of these chapters are further divided into sub-chapters and subsections. So everything's very organized. Everything has a perfect place where it fits in. And at the beginning of this book, yeah, so here you can see, there's Śrī Guru and Vaishnavas, the 6 Goswamis, Pancha Tattva, Śrī Gauranga, Śrī Krishna. These are all the chapters. And within each chapter, the songs are divided by language first. So each chapter begins with first additional Mangala Charan verses for Sri Guru, additional Mangalacharan verses for the Vaishnavas, additional Mangalacharan verses for the 6 Goswamis, so, different pranam mantras and prayers and like that, just single verses. And then the Sanskrit stotras, and then Sanskrit songs, and then the Bengali songs, and Hindi songs. So it's divided by language. Like within the Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha before, songs were divided just first by language, and then by topic. So there's the first half of this book is all the Bengali songs, and the second half of the book is Sanskrit, and there's a few Hindi songs at the end. And so that's how the book was divided before, but now we've simplified. And so if you wanted to get to a Radharani song, it would be in 4 different parts of this book. Like there is the Radha chapter for Bengali songs, and then you move forward, then there's the stotras to Srimati Radhika, and then there's Sanskrit songs in a different section of the book for for Sri Radha, and the Mangalacharan verses are in a different place. So it's just, you'd have to go through, and then the Hindi songs at the end. But now we simplified everything and brought it all together so that there's all the Radha songs are just in one chapter instead of 4 different places in the book. And as you see within each chapter, there are further subchapters, so that you can know the mood of a song. So like in this Guru chapter, there's prayers of adoration, there's the glories of Sri Guru, there's prayers for mercy, like that. And so then you can see the moods of the different songs. So sometime you might, and then when you're going to select a song that you want to read, then it's a lot, like you can feel like if you want to glorify Sri Guru, if you're wanting to do that, then you have all the songs there. Or if you're really struggling and you want to pray for mercy, then you have all the songs there. Then it's very easy, according to what mood you're feeling, what mood is appropriate, you'll be able to easily find the perfect song like that. And so here's an example, here's a chapter. This is the Panchatattva chapter. And then within the Panchatattva chapter, there are these sub-chapters. Srivas Thakur, Gadadhar Pandit, Shri Advaita, Nityananda Prabhu, Shri Gaur Nitai, Gauranga with his associates, like that. And so there are many sub-chapters throughout the book as well. Like in the Shri Radha chapter, there's the Sanskrit stotras, then the Sanskrit songs, and then in the Bengali section, there's the Radhashtak. This is a sub-chapter, and then Siddhi Lalasa, that's another sub-chapter, like that. And so, and then something I did, I really wanted to help people get an overview of sections of songs. So you'll see, here are the Upadeshamrita songs by Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Here are the Manashiksha songs, so based on Raghunath Das Goswami's Manashiksha. And then for each verse of Manashiksha, I made a title for it so that you can get the essence of the verse. So now you get an overview of the entire Manashiksha on just one page. So like the first verse of Manashiksha, Guru Goshte Goshtalaishu Sujane Bhusuragane, then you can see, okay, that verse, the essence of that verse is develop Rati for Sri Guru, Vraj as residence, the Vaishnavas, your Diksha mantras, Harinam, and so forth. And then the second verse, na dharmam, Shrutigana Niruktam Kila Guru. Then what is the essence of that verse? Abandon dharma and adharma. Remember Gaur as Krishna and Gurudev as his dearest. Just a short explanation of each verse. These are Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs. This is the first section of Kalyāṇa-kalpataru. And you can see these are different songs to the minds. And now you can see, at a glance, you can see which anartha is focusing on, lust, or, doubting the personal form of Krishna, or studying rubbish, scholarship, like useless scholarship, and pride in your caste. Why are you so vain about your physical appearance? So you can, at a glance, you will be able to find which song is most relevant to you. Why do you disguise lust as love? and then there's more instructions to the mind. Okay, and then Śaraṇāgati, and then Yamuna Bhavavali. These are the songs of Yamunacharya, the guru of Ramanujacharya, wrote the Stotra Ratna, which is quoted all throughout Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he picked like half of the verses of Stotra Ratna and wrote songs on each verse. They're beautiful songs. All also like Śaraṇāgati, kind of like they're all imbued with this mood of Śaraṇāgati. And then awakening to one's ultimate welfare. I combined two sections, Shreya Nirnay and Upalabdhi. This is from the middle section of Kalyāṇa-kalpataru. And then the Arati chapter, and then an Akadashi chapter, Akadashi, and then there's a song for the Akadashi Paran, the day after Akadashi, and also Mahaprasad Seva. And then Essential Teachings, this is the last chapter of the book. We'll look at all these chapters in more detail later on. Actually, a chapter that I really love in this book is the Dham and Parikar chapter. So here's Dham and Parikar, and then within Dham and Parikar, there's a section for Navadip Dham, for Ganga Devi, Janava Devi, Yogamaya, Lalita, Vishaka, Shri Rup Manjari, Mathura, Govardhan, Radhakund, Shamakund, Vrindavan, Vrinda Devi, Gopishwar, Mahadev, and then all these songs yearning for residence in Shri Vraj Dham. And then Chant the Holy Name. That's a very fun chapter. These are all the like bouncy, jumpy, like Dayal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nache Amar Man. They're all the like Nagar Kirtans that we sing in the public. And all these songs, Mahaprabhu is instructing everybody to chant the holy name. So that's why we gave the name Chant the Holy Name. And then and Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura wrote songs based on Namashtak, Shikshashtak, all these different verses from our Goswamis, especially Rupa Goswami. Actually, there are, I think, I counted it once before, I forgot what the actual number is, but there are, I think, 60 or 70 songs that are based on specific Sanskrit verses. And now in the songbook, you'll see, I'll show you, but we put the Sanskrit verse that each song is based on, that the song's based on, we put it above the song so that you can see the original Sanskrit verse, and then you can see the song that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura wrote for it. So this is the introduction that our Param Gurudev Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Keshav Goswami Maharaj wrote for the first edition of the Bengali Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, which was published when? It's published in 1957. And it's a beautiful introduction. Maybe at the end, if we have time, we can read some of it. But he mentions how this book isn't just meant to be sung. It's not just a book filled with songs meant for kirtaniyas but he mentions that you get the same benefit from even reading the songs and meditating on the songs like that. Then you get the same benefit you get from that, just reading the songs. You get that same benefit from you get the same benefit of singing the songs, you get it from just reading the songs as well. So it's really not, it's really meant to be something that is part of your practice, like when we perform our sadhan, the whole purpose, the only thing that we can do in spiritual life really is pray. We don't have any ability to make, that's not our process either, right? We're followers of the descending process, not the avaroha panta, not the aroha panta, not the ascending process. That ascending process is, on my own effort, I will make progress. I will do this, I will perform this sadhan, and I will elevate myself. I'll do all these different things, and on my own effort, I will be able to rise my consciousness higher and higher and attain perfection. But that's not our process. Our process, we don't have any ability to do anything. Every single tiny baby step on this path, we are fully dependent on mercy to make even one baby step of progress. And so all we can do really is pray. And so then we have these powerful prayers of our acharyas to show us how they pray. And also they're giving us a glimpse, like if we perform our sadhan and we do whatever activities in devotional life and like that, without praying, then it'll just become dry and boring, and like we don't have power to enter into the world of bhajan and this deep meditation and absorption and this and so our guru-varga, our acharyas, they have given us glimpses at their own absorption. What are their own, when they are performing their bhajan and they're deeply absorbed, and what are the moods, what are the things that they're relishing, what are their prayers, what is this whole world of bhajan that they're experiencing. And then they've given us that most secret, intimate, personal thing that they are experiencing. They have given it to us so that we can have a glimpse into what a life of bhajan is like. And they've given us our prayers so that we can use them. These are all the examples for us, for how we can pray, and we have their prayers to use. And anyway, sorry. So this is the second introduction to the Bengali Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha by our Param Gurudev. This is an interesting part right here. He said, Śrīla Ṭhākura, there's a special rule for kirtan as highlighted in Śrīla Ṭhākura's book Pashanda Dalanadi. He has cited scriptural evidence to teach us, Avaishnava mukodgirnam putam harikatamritam shravanam naiva kartavyam sarpochishta yathapaya. That's from the Padma Puran. This means that one should not even hear the supremely pure words of Shastra from the mouth of a non-Vaishnav. So even though the words are supremely pure, these supremely pure words of Shastra, still we shouldn't hear it if it's coming from the mouth of a non-Vaishnav. Just as death occurs from being struck by a venomous serpent, so if one hears and chants in this way, one becomes deviated from the path of bhajan. Right? We hear the example, if milk is completely pure and beautiful and gives nourishment to the body and everything, but if a snake touches it, and then it becomes poison. So we do not see this principle accepted and practiced in many places. Many Hindi songs that contradict Siddhanta are popular in various societies. This is a matter of great distress. So many Hindi songs. He's not approving of the Hindi songs. He said, even if one considers such songs to be aligned with proper Siddhanta, one should not hear even proper conceptions if uttered by non-Vaishnavas. Avaishnava mukodgirnam. So that Padma Puran verse. Everyone should carefully consider this before performing kirtan. To be clear, in this current edition of Gīti-guccha, no songs or verses uttered by non-Vaishnavas have been published. So this book is just filled with the pure songs of the Mahajans. Okay, so I'll skip this part. This is the editor's preface. We give a little history of Gaudiya Kirtan, beginning with Mahaprabhu, going to Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda, Rupa Goswami, Śrīla Raghunath Das Goswami, Śrīla Natham Das Ṭhākura, Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Ṭhākura, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, and we give like a little history of like the how they contributed to this Gaudiya Kirtan, the songbooks that they wrote, and like that. So it's an overview of that. It comes from Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and then our Śrīla Gurudev. And then I'll read from this point on. Śrī Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, a bouquet of Gaudiya songs. Let me make it bigger so you can also see. This will give a little overview of the book, of the features of the book, I mean. So, Śrī Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha, a bouquet of Gaudiya songs. To guide practitioners in choosing the most suitable kirtan for each occasion, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj masterfully wove together collections of songs, not only according to topic, but also according to the type of kirtan, such as prayers for mercy, entreaties, prayers full of longing and glorification, as I showed you before. He thus titled this book Śrī Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha. Giti means songs, and guccha means cluster. These songs have been clustered according to topic in a most beautiful way, like a bouquet of flowers. This English edition. While the spirit of the Gīti-guccha has been preserved in this English edition, the arrangements of the songs differs from the previous editions, in which songs were arranged first by language, Bengali, Sanskrit, and Hindi, and then by tattva, Guru, Vaishnava, Panchatattva, etc. In this edition, the songs are first categorized according to tattva, and within each tattva, they are then arranged by language, which I already showed you. Several songs have been added that were not in the Bengali and Hindi editions, and some songs from those editions have not been included here. A full list of differences can be found in the appendix. That's actually interesting to look at. If you have, anyways, whatever. That's more of a nerdy thing to do that. But please note that we have not included specific songs for various sacred days throughout the year, such as Gaur Purnima, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, and so on. These will be featured in a separate festival kirtan book to be published in the future. In the meantime, if you'd like to access special songs for such days, please visit gaudiyakirtan.com festival. Yeah, that's a project that I'm going to start working on. Probably I'll start working on it in the summertime. But I'll have, because there are so many songs for every festival day. There are many songs to sing on Gaur Purnima about Mahaprabhu's appearance. There are songs to sing for Janmashtami about Krishna's appearance, Radhashtami songs. I think we've translated like 6 Radhashtami songs. And for all the tithis in the year, even for all different acharyas and everything, there are many. There's an Advaita Avirbhav Leela song, a Nityananda Avirbhav Leela song, and then there's songs for every occasion, every festival. They're like specific songs. And so I didn't want to put that into this book because I thought it'd be nice to have a small book just for the festivals. And it would start with Gaur Purnima, and then it would have every tithi throughout the year, and the special songs to sing on that. And so the book wouldn't be too thick, so it'd be easy to hold and carry. And I was thinking, all temples could have that, like a big stack of this festival songbook. So then when any tithi comes, then the song's right there, and everybody can easily hold it in their hands. They don't have to look through a bunch of pages. So, and I also have a mailing list. If you go to gaudiyakirtan.com, I have a mailing list. I haven't been so active with it because I've been busy, but I'm going to start it up again, where I send out the day before any special tithi, I send special songs to sing on that day on the mailing list. So you can subscribe to that on my website, gaudiyakirtan.com. So numbered titles and chapters such as Shikshashtak and instructions to the minds have been added by the editors to give a clear overview of the topic of each song. Most other subsection titles are taken directly from the original Bengali Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha. So yeah, most of the titles were made by our Param Gurudev, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj, but as those, like I showed you before, the titles that have numbers on them, those ones I made. And, I did it with the editors. A companion in one sadhan. As Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Maharaj noted in his introduction, even if a person reads or recites these songs without singing a melody, they will obtain all the fruits of kirtan in full. We therefore invite you to view this book not merely as a collection of songs for group programs, but as a companion for every aspect of your devotional practice. For example, every devotee understands the importance of the instructions found in Shikshashtakam, Upadeshamrita, Manashiksha, and so forth. To help us delve deeper into these essential verses, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura composed beautiful prayers corresponding to each verse to guide one in actually following these teachings in daily life. Indeed, 75 songs in this book are based on specific Sanskrit verses by the Goswamis and other acharyas, serving as an entrance to their profound teachings. So like we have the verse from Upadeshamrita, Vacho Vegam, Manasakura Vegam, but how are we going to actually apply that verse in our lives? So then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura has a beautiful song to Prapanche Poriya, Agati Hoya, to help us actually follow the verse, a prayer for the verse. And then blank pages, we have intentionally left blank pages and full blank pages throughout so that you can add songs, prayers, verses, and quotes that have not been included in this collection. You'll find an index of these blank pages on this page. I'll show you, right here. See, so these are all blank pages throughout the book. Or sometimes it's like most of the page is blank, but there's a little bit on it. So when that happens, I'd put an asterisk next to the number. So then you can make your own table of contents here. So like if you have another prayer to Gauranga that you don't see in this book, then you can add it here and then just write the title of it on this dotted line here, and you'll have the page number. So you'll have so everybody can have like their own personalized book, their own personalized songs that aren't in the book. Okay. So then the arrangement of kirtans and daily practice. As much as I could, I tried to make the book very practical, like with instructions and or just guides, suggestions of things that you can sing afterwards. You'll see that actually all throughout the book, I give, like, you'll see after a song, I'll give the page number for a similar type of song, or a song that fits nicely with that song. And I tried to make it so that it really gives lots of tips and things like that. So the arrangement of kirtans in daily practice. In temples, when devotees gather for morning and evening kirtan, they generally follow the sequence that corresponds with the order of the first 6 chapters of this book, and they conclude with the chanting of the Maha Mantra. So, in a bhajan session, you'll start with songs to Shri Guru, then you'll move on to Vaishnavas, Panchatattva, especially songs to Nityananda Prabhu, and then you'll sing songs to Mahaprabhu, then songs to Krishna, and then you'll end with songs to Radharani, and then finally Mahamantra. That's usually in the morning and evening time in all the different temples. That's how they do it. Our acharyas emphasize that it is especially beneficial to sing songs imbued with the mood of surrender, such as those found in Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's Śaraṇāgati. Special emphasis on Śaraṇāgati is always very important. The above 6 tattvas, which comprise the first 6 chapters, also appear throughout the later chapters. The subheading Additional Songs in the Table of Contents refers to songs on the same topic that appear elsewhere in the book. So in the Table of Contents, I don't want to go back to the Table of Contents again, but I give, there's the songs in the Guru chapter, but then I give songs to Shri Guru that appear in other chapters. There's a Shri Rupa Gosai, Shri Guru Rupete. He says that Rupa Goswami in the form of Shri Guru came to me and whispered this instruction in my ear. So that's a song to Shri Guru, but it's in the Upadeshamrita chapter. So I gave, I tried to connect songs like that. All of the songs and stotras in the later chapters, apart from the Arati Kirtans, may also be sung in regular Kirtan sessions. To find where a song might fit, simply consider which of the following broad tattvas it relates to, and then place it in this natural sequence. So we begin with Guru Tattva and Vaishnav Tattva. We move to Pancha Tattva and Gaura Tattva, and conclude with Radha Krishna Tattva. So then any song in the songbook, you can think of which one of these tattvas does it fit into, and then you can know the appropriate time to sing it. Once the kirtan session has progressed to the songs in a later category, it does not generally return to an earlier category. For example, one does not generally go from Radha Krishna Tattva back to Gaur Tattva. So when deciding what to sing next, it is also important to consider the mood of the song that has just been sung. For instance, it may feel jarring to move directly from a sober prayer of separation to a light, playful Hindi song. With time and experience, one naturally develops a feel for how to arrange the order of kirtans in a harmonious way. And notes on the translations. To aid the reader's understanding of the original Sanskrit and Bengali words, the translations follow the word order of the original verses as closely as possible. This approach may also assist with memorizing the verses. So, actually, that's something I was thinking of doing at the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura retreat that we're doing. I just had this idea yesterday. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. You can let me know what you think. Oh, sorry, I haven't been looking at the comments. Okay, sorry, I'll get back to the comments in just 1 second. Let me just finish this thought. What was I saying? I'm sorry, I'm so spaced out right now. Whatever, I'll get to the comments now. So, Madan Gopal Prabhu is asking how to donate. Well, you're watching on YouTube right now. If you look at the video description, you'll see a link for PayPal. And also, if PayPal doesn't work good for you, then there's also Wise. Oh, I didn't give the Wise thing in the description, I don't think. And yeah, I can explain other ways. I'll explain at the end how ways to donate. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saying. So in the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura retreat, we're gonna be going through all of the songs of Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Last night I just categorized the songs, all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura songs, into 5 categories, and we'll focus on one category each day. But one activity I was thinking that might be interesting is to have the Bengali song and the translation underneath, and then you'd have to connect the words in the translation to the words in the Bengali. And because the way the translations, as you'll see, the translations are generally not much longer than the Bengali itself. Like we tried to make it very, very, direct translation, so that you can easily be able to connect the words in the translation to the words in the Bengali here. So lots of times we even tried to keep the same word order, just so that it's easy to connect it, because that's the most important thing, is when you're singing, to know exactly what you're singing. Otherwise, you're just singing a combination of sounds, it doesn't, but when you actually know what you're singing, then you can sing it with a lot more feeling, it's like you're talking rather than just making sounds and thinking of something nice, it's a whole other experience. And when you know what you're singing, then they automatically start to stick in your head, the songs. Like, just like when you hear any song on the radio or whatever, like any pop song that gets played over and over again, you get it stuck in your head without even wanting it to get stuck in your head, just because you understand what it's saying. So it's really easy. And so when you can understand the words of the kirtans, then the kirtans can easily get stuck in your head like that. It really helps with memorizing. Any additional words in the translation not present in the original text are enclosed in parentheses or square brackets. Parentheses are used to supply further information from the translations and commentaries of Gaudiya Acharyas, as well as simply to define a word. So, and then square brackets indicate additions by the editors for clarity. So, so like for example, whenever you're going through one of Rupa Goswami's stotras, then you'll see in a lot of the stotras, there's lots of text that is in parentheses. That's always from Baladeva Vijibhushan. Anytime you see something from Rupa Goswami and you see words in parentheses, that's from the commentary of Baladeva Vijibhushan. Those are things that are not in the Sanskrit, but Śrīla Baladeva Vijibhushan goes deeper into the song or clarifies things like that. And so then you can know what is Baladeva Vijibhushan saying and what are the original words of the song, so that you can easily you'll be able to get the deep meaning of the kirtan, and at the same time you'll be able to know you'll be able to do what I was mentioning, being able to match the words in the translation to the Sanskrit or Bengali. And then also when it's coming from our acharyas, or when it's coming from like me or Gīta-mālā or like that. So it's in square brackets when it's from conditioned souls like us, and then it's in it's in rounded brackets or parentheses when it's from these acharyas, commentaries of our acharyas. Then guide to pronunciation. Okay, so give a simple guide to pronunciation. And we have a very in-depth guide to pronunciation at the end of the book. I'll just show you really quickly. Where is it? Here. Yeah, so this is a very, I give a very in-depth guide for pronunciation here. And also, I have a link for pronunciation. So I go into, so that you could, because actually you can't, I write this in the beginning here. This guide offers a general reference for Sanskrit, Bengali, and Hindi pronunciation, but true understanding, however, comes only from carefully listening to the words spoken and then practicing them yourself, speaking them yourself. So so then you can get all that practice on this part here, Gauḍīya-kīrtana pronunciation. But I compare Sanskrit, Bengali, and Hindi pronunciation for all the different words, and I show. Anyways, that's okay. Then guide to the meters. The Bengali and Sanskrit meters for each song are noted in gray at the bottom of the page. And I'll show you later. I'll show you at the bottom of the page, you'll see the meters for each song. You'll see the meter. In Sanskrit verse, the various meters follow fixed patterns of long and short syllables. For example, Śrī Gauḍīya is in the upajati meter, in which the long and short syllables fall into the following pattern. So this long line is a long syllable, and then this little u is a short syllable. So then by seeing that pattern, you can figure out what meter is. And then this little the forward slash in the middle is a pause. And so I made a very, I went through every type of meter in the songbook, and I made this guide. There's so many different meters, it's amazing. Like for the Sanskrit songs, look, there is, I explain the rules for how the meters work in Sanskrit, what is a long vowel and what is a short vowel, and and then I go through each one and show an example of like anushtub or shlok. That's an 8 syllables per line, and then you can see. And then these are some common songs in this meter. Trishtub. So trishtub means verses that have 11 syllables per line. And then there's jagati, which is 12 syllables per line. Ati jagati, that means 13 syllables. Shakvari is 14 syllables. Ati Shakvari, 15 syllables. Ashti, 16 syllables. And then within each one of these categories, Anushtub, Trishtub, Jagati, like that, then there are different meters, different patterns of long and short syllables. So, for example, Upajati, Samsaradava Nalalita Loka. So when you see this pattern, you can go da 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 and pause. Da 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 da. So and then I give a verse and I make it bold and black, the long syllables, and then I made it not bold and gray for the short syllables. So then you can Samsaradava Nalalita Loka Tranaya Karunyakana, like that, and you can hear audio examples as well. Let's see, Sujanar Buddharat, that's a easy one. So it's da 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 Sujanar Buddhara Ditapada Yugam Yugadhar Madhurandhara Patravaram Paradabai. So just by then you can get familiar with every type of meter. Alright, this is a nice one. Govardhan Vaspartana Dashakam. So see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 logos. So na 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 na, and then a pause. Na 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 na. So Pramadhamadana Lila Kandare Kandare Te. Pramadhamadana Lila Kandare Kandare Te. Rachayati Navayunor Dvandamasmin Amandam Itikila Kalanartam. So that's you can see just from the pattern how to sing it. And I also have I'm gonna give a guide for you'll be able to hear them and be able to sing along with them so that you can like audio examples. All right. Now, yeah, in the Bengali meters also, I have explanations for the Bengali meters. Yeah, all right. So that's the introduction, basically. This is what I was mentioning before. This is the team of devotees who worked on this book. See, it's a full page of names. So many devotees contributed. Yeah, so massive project, massive team also. And also the devotees, our community of devotees also helped a lot. I'd ask lots of questions, like for example, how to organize the book. I made 3 different ways that we could organize the book, and then I printed many copies. I also put it on the internet, and then I'd ask the community, like which organization do you like best? And then everybody would give their vote, and I'd ask all these senior devotees individually, and then the majority rules. So I did that for a bunch of different aspects for the book. So many of you also were involved with how this book was prepared and created. And also at the end of the songbook, the last page of the songbook, I decided to, I made this page for corrections. So this page is reserved for readers to note corrections, make suggestions, or express appreciation of a particular song. And then you could send your input to purebhakti.com/GVP, or you could send it to me directly at madhukar@vineofdevotion.com. And so if you ever see a mistake in the songbook, then you can just go to the last page of the book and immediately write it down before you forget. And yeah. And then with the thoughtful contribution of the readers, the translations in this book may continually improve. Yeah, so everybody can be involved with making this book better and better. All right, so let's go through some of the book. Oh my God, I've been terrible at keeping track of time. Oh my God, it's already past 8 o'clock. Okay, I'll just finish up quickly. But here's Jayadvani. Then, okay, for each chapter of the book, we have full page illustrations. So Neela made a full page illustration for each chapter like that. So you see this beautiful peacock for the Mangalacharan. And then at the beginning of each chapter of the book, we have a table of contents. So like here at the Mangalacharan, then we have all the Mangalacharans that come. Remember I mentioned at the beginning of each chapter, we have additional Mangalacharan verses for each thing. So at the beginning of this Mangalacharan, you can see obeisances to this Sanatana Goswami, obeisances to Rupa Goswami, obeisances to Rupa Raghunath, to Jiva Goswami, pranam mantras for each one of these personalities. Pranam mantras for Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit. There are pranam mantras for Ganga Devi, Purnamasi Yogamaya, Lalita, Vishaka, Yamuna, Rupa Manjari. There are obeisance verses in the Krishna chapter. There are obeisance, like 4 pages of obeisance verses to baby Gopal. Very sweet verses. Yeah, so this is an index of all the different pranam mantras all throughout the songbook. And then we have a simple Mangalacharan. Then we come to the Guru chapter. And then at the beginning of the Guru chapter, as I mentioned, at the beginning of each chapter, there's a table of contents for that chapter. And then at the bottom of each page, we have the meters. So the first verse on this page is Mandakranta. So Nama Shrishtam Manumapi Sachi Putram Atra Sarupam. So now you can see how to actually say this verse. It's da 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 da. Okay, now let's try it. Nama Shrishtam Manumapi Sachi Putram Atra Sarupam. And if this isn't clear enough, if this isn't clear enough, then you can just go to the guide at the back of the book, and then you can see that example verse like I showed you before. So every page has the meter at the bottom of the page. So Gurvashtak is Upajati. Also, I did something on the side of the page when there are more verses, on the at the next page, because something I see devotees do a lot is when they're singing bhajans, they will look ahead to see if there are more verses in the song. So I made it so you don't need to do that anymore. I give, you can just see on the page how many verses are left. So 6 verses more, and there's an arrow. And then you know when a song ends, you don't need to like check to see if there are more verses. So yeah, 2 verses more left in the song on the next page, like that. 6 verses more for Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Param. All right. And then there are all these pranam mantras, so like a pranam mantra for Baladev Vidibhushan, for Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, for Narottam Das Thakur, for Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Madhavendra Puri, Madhvacharya, Shukadev Goswami, different pranam mantras for all of them. And then here's an example of a song that is based on a Sanskrit verse. So we always put the Sanskrit verse in a box like this, and then the song comes underneath. So there are lots of verses like that. And for Bengali, you see Dirgha Tripadi, and then the syllables are 8, 8, 10. Yeah, okay, so now there's the Vaishnavas chapter. And then it begins with the table of contents. And then for every sub-chapter in the book, so for example, 6 Goswamis is a sub-chapter of the Vaishnavas section. Then there's an illustration. And also, each sub-chapter, you can see on the side of the page, there's tabs. My brother just messaged me about that, about the tabs, like suggesting the tabs. So in the tabs, you can see the language, Bengali, and you can also see, if there's a sub-chapter, you can see the sub-chapter on the side of the page as well. So see, you just scroll through, and like that. See, it goes down the side of the book like a phone book. And here's an example of the sub-chapters. So this is the Pancha-tattva chapter, and we see there's a picture of Nityananda Prabhu. And in each sub-chapter, we have a table of contents for the sub-chapter as well. So there are like, all throughout the book, there's probably, I don't know, probably like 20 sets of table of contents is all throughout the book, so that you could always know where you are. Because this book is so, it's like an encyclopedia of songs. And so I wanted to make it so that you don't get lost in the ocean of songs. Like you always know where you are, and you'll always be able to discover new songs. I wanted to make everything very navigatable and discoverable. And so at the end of lots of songs, also I give suggestions of songs that you can sing afterwards. I'll show you some of that. But yeah, so that's the Gaur-Nitai section with a small Gaur-Nitai table of contents and an illustration like that. Here's the Gauranga chapter, table of contents, Mangalacharan verses, and then Stotras. Okay, let's move on to, here's the Krishna chapter. See how beautiful the illustrations are though for each chapter? This is all Nila, all in this Art Nouveau style. Oh man, I didn't even show you the songs that we are adding into these. Some of the songs are just lots of rare songs also that yeah, so here the Śrī Radha chapter. Okay, so I want to show you the whatchamacallit, the Daman Padikar chapter. That one's a really that's an exciting chapter. So here's Daman Padikar. Here's an illustration of Vrinda Devi, and then here's the table of contents for that. And then for each chapter, so this is Navadip Dham. See, there's an illustration of Yogapit, and there's no AI art used for this. All of this was done specifically for this book by devotees, by hand. This part is really nice. I went through Navadip Dham Mahatma and Navadip Bhav Taranga and selected all like the really beautiful sections about the glories of the Dham. Vrindavan manifests as Navadip to bestow eligibility for ras. Like just amazing points in these. the ultimate fruit of doing all pilgrimage is that you may come to Navadvip. So anybody who goes to different tirthas, they are a fool, because the fruit of going to all tirthas is that you can go to Navadvip. So who would leave Navadvip to go to another tirtha? There's all these beautiful verses. And then to Ganga Devi. The person who laid out the book, Anuradha Mataji, she did some of the illustrations as well. She did this one of Ganga Devi. Janava Mata, Yoga Maya. Most of these small illustrations were done by Kamala from Canada. Vishaka Devi, Rupa Manjari, Mathura. This one Anuradha Mataji did, the one who laid out the book, Giriraj. And all throughout this book, I give links to different things. Like I wasn't able to fit in the 2 Govardhan Ashtaks by Srila Rupa Goswami, so then you go to gaudiyakirtan.com Govardhan, and then you'll get those 2 Govardhan Ashtaks. And like that. Yeah. So Vrindavan Dham, Vrinda Devi. My brother, I went to this retreat with my brother's. His Guru Maharaj led a retreat, Sachinandan Maharaj, and he quoted this verse on the day, and I added it in the book. In one of his classes, he quoted this verse, and then it's like, oh wow, it's an amazing verse for Vrinda Devi. Gopishwar Mahadev. Yeah, okay, so then the chanting the holy name chapter. We have a picture of Srila Prabhupada under the tree at Thompson Square Park with all the hippies and devotees there. And this chapter is really fun. This is all, these are all Mahaprabhu, these are sections from Chaitanya Bhagavat and some from Chaitanya Charitamrita, mostly from Chaitanya Bhagavat though. And lots of times, like on Navadvip Parikrama, the kirtan leader, like these Bengali kirtan leaders, they'll be singing Mahamantra for a long time, and then all of a sudden they'll break out into this Shuno Shuno Nityananda Shuno Haridas Sarvatra Amar Agya Koroho Prakash. Listen Nityananda, listen Haridas, go and spread my commands everywhere. Prati Ghare Ghare Giya Koro E Bhiksha Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna Koro Krishna Shiksha. Oh my god, I just noticed a spelling mistake. I need to fix that. Anyhow, and so then when you're doing a Mahamantra Kirtan, going out in Nagar Sankirtan, and then you sing one of these verses, you're like, it brings a whole like new mood to the Kirtan. Like you're imagining now Mahaprabhu instructing Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, and he's telling them to go to each one of these houses, and then you're on Navadvip Parikrama going past the houses. And he's like, go to each one of these houses and tell everybody to, like brings the whole Kirtan to life. These are all like little sets of songs that you can sing within the Mahamantra when you're singing Mahamantra of Mahaprabhu's instructions. This is an Adivas Kirtan. This is you sing before the festival day. So like before the Gaur Purnima, then you'd sing this Kirtan. And this is Mahaprabhu's observance of Adivas, the eve of the festival Kirtan. So they would do a special Kol Mangala. They had a ceremonial worship of the Mridanga. And with garlands and arti paraphernalia, they'd worship the Mridanga. Mahaprabhu would do that. And this is like a description of Mahaprabhu's beautiful description. And then Udila Aruna, so sunrise Kirtan. And then here are all the Nagar Kirtans. These are the Kirtans. Agyat, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura also calls it Nagar Kirtan and then Agyat Tahal. Agyat Tahal means carrying out the Lord's commands. Tahal means like moving around, carrying out the Lord's commands. So these are all these Nagar Kirtans that are meant to be sung out in the public. When you go, Nadia Godrume, Boro Suker Kabur Gai Gora Madur Sware, Ekbar Bhavo Mane, Radha Krishna Bol Bol. So these are all those kinds of small, jumpy, fun kirtans. And in Sajan Toshini, Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura included this word above the song Hari Bole Moder Kor Elo. He said that we sing this song when all the Vaishnavas arrive for Śrī Dham Parikrama. So I guess at the beginning, like before everybody goes out on Navadvip Parikrama, then everybody, Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura wrote himself in Sajan Toshini that we should sing this song, Hari Bole Moder Kor Elo. And something I did, all the different research that I did and like different things I found, I would always try to put it inside the book. So, like for example, in this song Bol Hari Bol, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he wrote a series of little booklets called Vaishnav Siddhanta-mālā. We have the first part published from GVP, but he made a bunch of other sections. They're little small booklets that and most of them are filled with sets of songs, and sometimes his commentaries on some songs, and I think it's like 6 little booklets. And at the end of one of the booklets, let's see, the 6th booklet was called Nam Prachar, which had many of the Nagar and Nam Kirtans, and also Bhajan Gitas. And so then at the end of the booklet, after this song Bol Hari Bol, Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura wrote this Jaidvani in it. And so we have, like he sings, Śrī Gayak Shrota Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the respected devotee singers and the listeners. Gayak Shrota Bhakta Vrinda. Anyways, just like little interesting things like that all throughout this book. I went through Navadip Dham Mahatma and Harinam Chintamani. There's different groups of Panchatattva verses. So, like we're so familiar, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda, but here are different versions of that. There's Jaya 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 Shri Shachi Sutta, Jaya 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 Shri Avaduta, Sita Pati Jaya Bhakata Raj, Gadadhara Jaya Bhakta Samaj, Jaya Navadipa Sundara Dham, Jaya 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 Gaur Ki Nam. So I thought these are all easy enough that you could sing it and everybody would be able to follow, because it's just simple names. So like if you're out on a Nagar Sankirtan, on Navadvip Parikrama, I'm just imagining that, then you can sing, Jai Jai Gora Chandra Jaya Nityananda, and everybody could follow that. You don't need to look at a book to be able to sing that. And Jaya Dvaita Gadadhar Prema Rasananda, Jaya Dvaita, and then everybody can follow. And so then you could sing these beautiful little Panchatattva songs. When you go out, there are many different little things like that you can sing in kirtan. And I went through Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavat, and there are so many, so many. And but I didn't include them in the book because I didn't want. But I have a link for them there. GauḍīyaKirtan.com Panchatattva, so you can find many more Panchatattva verses like that. All right. So then, here's some verses about. Okay, it's now getting too late. I think I should end here. But okay. Let's just look at this really quick. This is the Namashtak by, and so the songs on each verse by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. So you can get an overview of the meaning of all the verses. Nam is worshipped by the Upanishads and liberated sages. Shri Nam, sung by the sages, the bestower of bliss and the destroyer of suffering. You can get an overview of the entire Namashtak like that. And then within each, we have the original Sanskrit verse, the translation, the meter, and then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's song based on that verse. So there are 75 things like this, with a little box before it, and a Sanskrit verse, and then Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's song based on that. So that's how this book is organized. Those are just a few of the features of the book. Anyhow, all right, so I'll end here. If anybody has any questions or anything, okay, let me look at the comments really quick. Haribo Manini Radha Didi. Oh yeah, Vidyalala said the idea of trying to figure out what words in the translation match to the words of the Bengali. I was thinking of maybe, I'm not sure how we do it. People would circle it with different colors and like that, or I don't know. Okay, so Ganga Mataji is asking how the books will be available to purchase. So the books will be, initially, the printer said that they'll take a couple months to print them. I'm really hoping that they can have them printed before our Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura retreat. And so they'll be available in India, and then we'll eventually ship it out to America. And you can get them you'll be able to get them on bhaktistore.com. Otherwise, if you're in India, you'll be able to get them from India. And I think we can also ship internationally. So, it's much cheaper in India than it is in the West, because you have to add in all the shipping expenses. So if anybody's in India, also you can have them bring to you. I don't know how much the book is going to be yet. I think it might be like under 1,000 rupees. This is actually GVP's biggest book with the most pages. I mean, 1,300 pages. We don't all our other GVP books, they don't go. There's some books that go a little bit over 1,000 pages, but nothing's 1,300 pages. So it's GVP's most largest book, and also Bible paper is more expensive than normal paper, and so that's why it's a little bit 1,000 rupees. What are 1,000 rupees in dollars? Let me just ask. What is 1,000? It'll be less than 1,000 rupees, maybe like 900 rupees, I guess. I don't know though. We have to. So 1,000 rupees in dollars is $11. Oh, that's not that much actually for such a big book. So that'll be the price. All right. Okay, that's a great idea, Vidyalala Sadidi. Thank you. I will take note of that. All right, so now how you can contribute to this book. I will put the link right now. Can we, Manani Radha Didi is asking if you can get it as a Kindle version. Not yet, but eventually, yes, I'd like to make it into a Kindle book. But yeah, that will require some work. Okay, let's see. I'm going to give you the link here in the on Zoom and also on Facebook. I'll put the link in the description of where you can send donations. So to print, we're going to print 3,000 copies. And I think altogether, to print all 3,000 copies, it's going to cost $19,000, I think. But even small donations, even if you give $10, like all the contributions, it's all very helpful, and it's going for something very beautiful. This book is going to make all of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's songs go mainstream, like available everywhere. Before, like I know some devotees have Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura's Kalyāṇa-kalpataru and Śaraṇāgati and Gītāvalī like that, but it's rare, like you don't see it in every devotee home. Just like in some devotee homes you might see it, but now all those songs from all those books are going to be, because the Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha is one of the most popular. It is probably the most popular songbook, I think. I don't know.Maybe Songs of Vaishnava-acharyas is more popular. I don't know, but it is one of the most popular songbooks. My brother's Guru Maharaj, Shripad Sachinandan Maharaj, he has this book. He carried this book in his book bag. He told me that this book eternally lives in his book bag. And he's been carrying it in his book bag wherever he goes. It's always with him since 2013, all the way till now. And I saw it, like I went for the Japa retreat, as I mentioned, and I'd see that book always out in front of him. At Kadamba, there's a little table in front of him, and he just had the songbook, no other book. He just had the Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha in front of him. And so all of Sachinanda Maharaj's disciples were very familiar with the book. They always see him with it. And so my brother was introducing me to everybody, like, he's working on the Gauḍīya Gīti-guccha. I'm like, wow, really? Amazing. And so, I don't know, I think this book is like really like a beautiful thing also for, it's like a Sangha, like Sachinanda Maharaj was mentioning this to me, like how it's a really beautiful thing that brings all Sanghas together, because, it's everybody sharing this one book. Sorry, what was I doing? I was getting the link for where to. Sorry, guys. I should have planned this out better. I don't usually. Okay, I'm just getting the link right now. And also, you can message me personally. You can message me personally to get any of the links and like that. So here is the GVP's WISE tag. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you can, it will be available as a PDF. Yes, Mani Radha Didi. All GVP books are available as a PDF. So this is the WISE link. I just pasted the WISE link in the YouTube chat, and I'm pasting the WISE link here as well in Zoom. And then I'll also paste the the PayPal link. There's a, so that if you'd like to contribute on PayPal. And anybody who gives more than $500, their name goes in the book. Unless you don't want your name to go in the book, but yeah. So yeah, unless you request for your name not to go in the book, then yeah, anybody who contributes, their name will go into book for this edition and all future editions. They give more than $500. Okay, here's the PayPal link. I'm just putting it in the Zoom chat and in the YouTube chat. All right. So is there anything, does anybody have any questions or anything that they would you like to sing any kirtans? If there are any kirtan requests, we can always sing any song or whatever you like. All right, so I'm going to end the program for today. This went on way too long, 1 hour and 20 minutes already, my God. But I'm also, any day, I do a live reading here every single day, as you know. And so if you ever have any thoughts, ideas, questions, or whatever regarding the songbook or anything like that, or kirtan in general or anything, you're always free to ask me. At the end of each one of my programs, I always ask if anybody has anything they want to say or ask or like that. And so, yeah, if any thought comes to your head, you could either message me or you could ask me in the program and I'll answer like that. I'm about to... yeah, I'm now getting a clear idea of what I want to do for this Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura program, online program, and an in-person program at Surabi Kunj in Godrum at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. There will be a 5-day Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura thing there, and I think I'm going to start on January 1st, an online Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura program. It will be a 5-week program, and I divided Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur's songs into 5 categories, and each week will focus on one category. So the first week will be on Śaraṇāgati, these songs of surrender. Then the next week will be on Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakur's instruction songs, especially instructions to the mind. He wrote many songs like that. And then the third week will be the songs that you sing throughout the day, like the Bhog Arati song, the Mahaprasad songs, the Arati song, like the the sunrise songs like that. And so that would be the third week. And then the fourth week will be songs that Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote on the Dham and also on Nam. He wrote so many songs glorifying Nam and the glories of, like that. And then the last day, the fifth week will be on Siddhi Lalasa, like showing the goal. So that's going to be our program, and I was just figuring it out all last night, and I'll be posting soon on my website, vineofdevotion.com, with details about that. Details about how, and then those 5 weeks will be 5 weeks online, and then at the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura program, at the Bhaktivinoda Thakur retreat, there will be 5 days also. So, and I'm trying to make it very personal. So I'm making forms right now with all the songs in those 5 different categories. I'm making lists of songs with a description of each, like a summary of each song, and then you can choose which song is feels relevant to you, or which one attracts you the most, and then you'll be able to everybody will have their own set of songs to focus on, and then we will go through the songs. And anyways, whatever, I'm talking too much. I'll send a post about that on my vineofdevotion.com, the mailing list there. All right, so see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe, Haribol. And I'm just checking one more time. Is there any more questions? Or